Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about why Call of Duty is not a competitive shooter, and why it never has been and probably never should be. And this is why skill-based matchmaking pisses me off so much, is because skill-based matchmaking is essentially forced competitive in a non-competitive game. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say, and a lot of people are going to say, well, how is Call of Duty not a competitive game? I mean, they have an entire league for competitive play. They have teams based off of cities like Atlanta FaZe and Toronto Ultra and Minnesota Rucker and all these other teams. And while I do think this is cool and all, I think it's cool that, competitive Call of Duty has reached this height. It's not the same game. It's not. It's simply not the same game. The pros don't play half the game modes that we play normally. And when they do play those game modes, they play with different rules like spawn delays, and they play with restrictions and gentlemen's agreements to not use certain things and all of this because the game isn't competitive by nature. And a great game that's competitive by nature, and actually, I guess there's kind of two. There's Rainbow Six Siege, which I think has a little bit of restrictions in it. I'm not entirely sure. Someone correct me in the comment section below. And there's CSGO, which, if I remember correctly, has literally no restrictions to it. Both of these games are built as competitive shooters. They're built to be competitive shooters, which is why a skill-based matchmaking system in those games would actually make a little bit more sense. But then there's Call of Duty out here, which for some reason decides to give us skill-based matchmaking, which is, whether you like it or not, it is forced competitive. It is forcing you to play the game competitively because you do well in one match. In your next 5 matches, if you even want to go positive, you have to sweat your balls off wearing a headset, cranking the volume while cracked up on G Fuel, and there's just simply no other way to play the game. You have to play like that if you want to even do remotely decent. You can't run around with a crossbow and a riot shield and expect to have fun because you're maybe going to get 2 kills tops. Maybe that's kind of an exaggeration, but you're not going to do well. You're not going to get nearly the amount of kills that you would want to. I mean, you're still not going to do as well as if you're sweating with an MP5. Obviously, you're going to do amazing. But in old Call of Duty games, you could put on like a crossbow and a riot shield and still do half decent if you were a fairly good player. And you could have fun like that. But you can't really do that anymore when you're forced to play against the sweatiest of sweats. Even if you're not that good, it feels like you're playing against the sweatiest of sweats. Even if you're just a slightly above average player, it feels like you are playing against insanely good players. It's just not good. It is forcing you to play the game competitively in a Call of Duty game that isn't competitive. Like, how many times do you see snipers in your lobby who have built their sniper rifle to have sprint out time and ADS time faster than the time to kill and have no flinch on them whatsoever because they put their attachments together perfectly and they just kill you every single time you shoot at them? There's nothing you can do about it. You can pre-aim them. If they hit their bullet, you will die. Does that sound like a competitive video game to you? No, of course not. That's broken as hell, right? Does somebody who can camp with an LMG and claymores and aim down an alleyway and just kill everybody who goes down that alleyway and there's nothing anybody can do about it, does that sound competitive? No. Does having shotguns that have insane ranges sound competitive to you? It shouldn't. This isn't how competitive video games are built. Right? Call of Duty is still, at its core, I do believe, a casual shooter. But they put skill-based matchmaking into it to try and force competitive on us for whatever reason. And I know it's not really that reason. It's to, keep players engaged. And it's technically not skill-based matchmaking. It's engagement optimized based matchmaking, whatever the hell it's actually called. That's the real problem. And to be fair, they kind of go together hand in hand. They're both a problem, right? And it's just oh my god, it's so stupid. Engagement-based matchmaking, quick rant, is horrible. They literally pretty much try and get you hooked on the game by using your dopamine response. They track when you get off the game and when you log on the game and be like, okay, so if they have this many bad games in a row, then they're going to get off the game if we don't give them this and then that. They try so bloody hard with their algorithms to get you physically addicted to the game like it is nicotine. This can be an entirely separate video on how bad engagement optimized matchmaking, fuck it, whatever, is for the game. But Jesus Christ, why is like skill-based matchmaking all of this in the game when it's not a competitive shooter? It should be played casually. Yet, you know, we still have a competitive mode, but for some reason casual still feels competitive because of stupid skill-based matchmaking in a game that, again, isn't inherently competitive. Like, god damn, could you imagine, like, just think for a second, if Modern Warfare 2 had skill-based matchmaking, nobody would use anything except for the ACR with, like, one-man army noob tube. Nobody would use anything else. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and I had to get on here and rant about this because I just had an epiphany that, holy shit, Call of Duty isn't a competitive game, why the fuck is skill-based matchmaking in here? Well, money, I guess, I don't know. Apparently it works for Activision, so with that being said, I obviously want to know your guys' opinions on this. This is a very messy rant, but I wanted to get on and record a video, and yeah, this is what I want to talk about. So with that being said, if you guys did happen to enjoy this video regardless, make sure to drop a like, sub the channel, turn on post notifications, also feel free to join my Discord, and follow me on Twitter. Both those links will be down in the description. And with that being said, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace out.